everybody. I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report, and I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome Alex Newell from ZOEY'S Extraordinary Playlist to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I want to
Good.
start off by congratulating you for your Critics' Choice nomination as Best Supporting Actor for playing Mo in ZOEY'S.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a whirlwind, to be honest.
Well, it's been an exciting season 2 of ZOEY'S Extraordinary Playlist, and the mid-season finale finds you and Max with a new investor for your restaurant business. You guys aced your pitch for funding with the head of SparkPoint. What has that journey been like for you?
It's been tough. No, it's been really fun this season, and being a entrepreneur, already being an entrepreneur and being an artist, and kind of finding that um, that lane that Mo can be in, where it services both their need for art and money. um, but yeah, it's been really fun, and having a scene partner like Skylar is really fun as well. And the intricacy of all that we get to do this season is so much. It's just so much.
Well, one of the things that really grabbed me during this season so far is when you explained why you were reluctant to sign that partnership agreement with Max, of course, played by Skylar Astin. And why don't you tell us about that, and also revealing some of Mo's other, the deepest elements of her character?
When you're young, you make some terrible decisions a lot of times. And so, episode 2 of this season, we really find a mistake that Mo made in their younger self of trying to create this gene company, and kind of sidelining their partner in all of it and taking them out of the deal, and having a selfish business mind back then, and kind of where they are now and how they're growing is just kind of really beautiful.
It is. It's really, grabbed me in as a viewer. I was going, please, Mo, sign that deal. If you don't, who knows what might happen in the future. So I was glad that you finally did.
Yeah,
So,
it's self versus self sometimes, and you got to figure it out.
well, obviously another key relationship on the show is yours with Jane Levy, who plays Zoe. And of course, all of you guys must have been thrilled when she got the Golden Globe nomination. But tell us about your working relationship with her.
It's fun, at the beginning of the season, we didn't have that many scenes together like we did last season. And we were very upset about it because we genuinely do love working with each other. And, I see her, when I do work with her, I see how hard of a worker she is, being in every day and in almost every scene. Especially last season, where she truly was in every single scene. Um, and it's just a pleasure to get to work with her and to see how she does work and how she brings this character to life.
She really does. And there's so much life in this show. But talk to us about some of your favorite numbers that the cast has performed.
I don't have a favorite. I mean, I have favorites, but like everyone, watching the show and getting to like see these performers that haven't done it in a while, or have never done singing, dancing, and acting on television or film like this, they set bars for themselves, and they keep achieving those bars, and they keep crushing these numbers. It's brilliant. I mean, Black Man in a White World from John Clarence Stewart is probably one of my top 10 numbers. Also, there are so many other giant big ones, like American Pie last season, that 7-minute, 6-minute number that was just one oneer is beautiful. Anytime Peter Gallagher sang True Colors, was a puddle of tears. There's so many. I don't like to pick favorites.
What kind of prep time does the cast need for those, extensive dance and song numbers?
I don't know. It varies for each person, to be honest. I I take less time to pick up choreography and kind of do the numbers and stuff, so I don't need as much time. But somebody else that doesn't take as short of a time might need a couple rehearsals, maybe 3 or 4. But, you know, it's all par for the course because Mandy and Team Dance, they're really great at putting choreography on bodies.
Well, of course, you're no stranger to musicals on television, and I wanted to rewind back to your time on Glee as Wade Unique Adams and working with that incredible cast. So let's talk about some of your best memories regarding that show.
Oh my goodness. You know, that was my first real job in a sense of like what jobs are. I literally graduated high school and flew out to Los Angeles and was on my favorite television show. So I think that experience at the very beginning was my favorite. And I still have so many fond memories. Probably one of my favorite numbers was Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend that we did in, what was an episode named Girls and Boys on Film. Um, and we did Sparkling Diamonds from Moulin Rouge, which isn't really a mashup, it's a whole thing. But it was just like doing that number. I loved that song growing up, and that was like something that I held true to my heart. Also, I ran a fever the day before we shot that number, so I was just so not there for a majority of it.
Oh, but you managed to overcome it.
Yeah.
Well, you also, you've made your Broadway debut in the revival of Once on This Island in 2017. Talk to us about being on stage on The Great White Way.
You know, Broadway was my track record, not my track record, my trajectory that I was going to do. When I was graduating high school, my junior year, I auditioned to every program for a BFA in musical theater, and I got rejected, and I was kind of like, how am I going to get there? Broadway was a goal. Like, I started doing musical theater when I was like 10, and I had this giant passion for it, and I was a whole Broadway nerd secretly. But yeah, then kind of getting older and auditioning and being so close to it and still not getting it. And then going from Glee to Once This Island and some things in between, kind of having my dream role in doing that and playing that role. It was phenomenal. I mean, I cried like a baby opening night. I cried like a baby closing night. It was kind of the catharsis of like, I reached one of my final goals of being on Broadway, and I got to play my dream role while doing it.
Talk about huge stages. I understand you also performed at Coachella.
I did. I played with Clean Bandit. I did a song with them called Stronger years and years and years and years ago. And I was playing Coachella with them. And I did Radio BBC One in England with them, and I was so close to playing Glastonbury with them, but I got sick right before. So I did the festival tour, except that one.
What have been some of the other highlights of your musical career?
Touring with Adam Lambert, a friend of mine. I still remember him asking, "Hey, do you want to go on tour with me?" And I was just like, "Wait, what? Who, me? Little me?" But yeah, I think that working with Diane Warren in her studio and kind of just seeing her in her element and writing music and singing songs with her, singing Mariah Carey to Mariah Carey, stuff like that. It's been a whirlwind of stuff.
How did you talked about when you were 10, you were a secret Broadway nerd, but how exactly did you get started in music and in performing?
There's this theater that I grew up near in Beverly, Massachusetts called North Shore Music Theater, and I saw a production of Ain't Misbehavin' there. It was kind of the first time that I got to see people of color, Black people, on stage singing and dancing and acting and being phenomenal at it. And from then I like deep dove into their website and saw that they had like a young performing arts education kind of program, and they were holding auditions for Stuart Little, and I begged my mom to take me, and she took me, and I kind of booked it. And from then it was just kind of this slow roll of like doing their summer program, doing Thoroughly Modern Millie, being in one of their main stage productions, which was like a giant thing when you're younger, to be like a kid in an adult equity cast show. And kind of being in their roster to do shows. And I remember doing A Christmas Carol when I got the email that I was being considered to be on the Glee project. So it was a thing.
Wow. Well, let's turn it back to Zoe's for a minute. I know the show's on a little bit of a mid-season break and returning in mid-March. So can you tell us about the entrepreneurship deal? Is there any little spoilers or hints you can drop, and what's going to happen throughout the rest of the season?
I
Because
mean,
I want to eat at that restaurant. That's such a great idea.
I living in New York City and frequenting bars, I was just like, this is a brilliant idea, because I do this often. I do go to bars and their kitchen is closed and they'll let me order food into the restaurant. So yeah, it's a place for it. But I think you'll just see how this business runs, and there are very much so bumps in the way and down the road, and there are different characters that come in and come out. And I mean, our opening night is a big one. Like, it is a huge opening night, and we're super stoked for it and for everybody to see it. And it's going to be very loud.
Well, that's one of the things I love about the show. And I know you guys are in pre-production on the rest of the season. So I wanted to thank you so much for taking a moment to share with me on Hillary's Happy Hour. I want to toast to your continued success, and of course at the upcoming Critics' Choice Awards.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. I hope to see you in person soon, Alex. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.